Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Whatever Works podcast. This is officially the third episode, which I'm really proud of myself that I've actually kept this going. Kind of have to if I want to succeed on my personal project, but I'm very grateful that I'm actually doing this as my personal project, because if I wouldn't be doing it for my personal project, I would probably give up on the first episode, but because I had to, I couldn't. So I'm very happy because of that. I'm going to be so transparent with you right now. I have been procrastinating filming this for the past 4 days. I was supposed to originally record it on Thursday, and it's Sunday because I really didn't want to. And I don't know why, because I feel like I know why. I think it's because I don't really know what to talk about. I have a sense of a topic, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it in the words that I would like to put it in. But hopefully I'll do a good job, okay? Today we're going to be talking about just the sense of life and just feeling lost in life in general. Because I've been feeling a lot like that lately. I think I say this in every single episode ever because I genuinely do mostly talk about the things that I feel a lot. Also, I am in my room right now. I haven't filmed here yet because on the first episode I filmed in my kitchen, and then in the second one I filmed in my parents' car. And as much as I love filming in a car, genuinely probably my favorite setup ever, I did try to film the first podcast episode in a car. I genuinely sat there for 4 hours. I think I already said this in the first episode, but I just couldn't film it. But I was really tired today. I don't have the energy to get out of my room and film it not in my room, if that makes sense. I do also apologize for the lightning. I have been sitting here for almost an hour debating how I should talk about this topic, just because I do think it's a really interesting one, and hopefully I want to say something that would actually make sense. What can I say? So, going back to the topic, I've been feeling a lot lately like I don't know what I want to do with my life, not even long term, just more in general. I have no clue what I'm doing in this moment right now, and I've always been the kind of person to want to do something in at all times. Maybe it's working toward a big project, maybe it's working toward a small project, doesn't matter. I just always like to do something. And when you think about it, going to school is working towards some kind of project, even if it's a project of getting into college or high school or whatever. But as much as I do want to go to college, I don't feel like school is my number one priority in life. I think I can do a lot more than school, and just going by the traditional path of high school, college, job, like a 9 to 5. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and I'm not saying that people who want that are in the wrong. I feel like if you know what you want and you know that it's a 9 to 5 and going by the traditional path, that's totally fine. That's amazing. You do what you want to do. I just cannot imagine myself having a 9 to 5, having a job by desk and just being there every single day. That idea actually really scares me. So I feel like that's why just going to school doesn't make me feel like I'm working towards something bigger. And the fact that society makes us choose what we want to do for the rest of our lives, which obviously isn't true. What you choose, what you think you want to do when you're 15 or 16, you don't have to do it for the rest of your life. You might feel like you want to be a journalist at the age of 15, but maybe in 10 years time you'll want to be a lawyer. Whatever you want to do right now, you're not held accountable to do it for the rest of your life. And I stand by that. I, for example, have a million jobs and things I want to do in my life. I cannot imagine myself doing one thing for the rest of my life. I just can't. And I know that's definitely not what I'm gonna do, because in 10 years I'm probably gonna switch to a different job that I was doing before, But I think we are made to pick, certain subjects we want to study in school when we're 14 or 16, and I am going to be turning 16 soon, and I think in a month or two I'm going to have to pick 3 subjects I'm going to be taking on a standard level, and 3 subjects I'm going to be taking on a high level, like an extended level, in 3rd and 4th grade. And I feel like I have a sense of what I want to do, but at the same time I have no clue. I've always been really, really interested in architecture and interior design, so I've kind of picked a couple of subjects that align with that career path. And whenever someone asks me, "Oh, what will you be picking for those like 6 subjects, and what you want to do in your life and what you want to do in college?" I always say architecture because I feel like it's the most realistic one out of all the career paths I want to do. And as much as I do really want to do it, I don't know if it's completely true when I answer that question. That like I want to be an architect. I want to do this and that. I know it's silly because there's no specific person that's making me, you know everything about what I want to do in the near future. My parents are so supportive of like just going with the flow and figuring out things slowly. But hopefully I'm not the only one who thinks this, but I think there's this expectation from teenagers to pick something, you know, when they're a teenager, which is crazy, like we're only this young. We have lived like 1/10 of our entire life, and what we're supposed to pick something we want to do. That's really, really weird to me. So I've been thinking and thinking, and because lately I haven't been really working to any bigger goals and dreams and projects, whatever, have felt very, very lost. Because as I already said, I've always been the kind of person who is working constantly on something. And I think I already said this in the second episode that I do love doing YouTube, and I think it's something that I want to do for really for long term, and it's one of my bigger dreams to do something with YouTube. And I hate saying that because in my mind it's really, really silly when I say, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, even though it has been my dream ever since I can remember. Seriously, when I was like 6 years old, me and my dad and my sister and like also my best friend, we would film videos on my dad's iPad, just vlogging, and I loved that. It's genuinely my favorite thing ever, and I love editing those videos. It's so much fun. I seriously love it. But when I have to like say it out loud, which I never do because I'm just really, 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 really embarrassed to say it, and I hate that I'm embarrassed to say it because I'm always saying you should never be embarrassed of what you want to do. If you want to do football, you can do football. If you want to be a writer, be a writer. If you want to be a YouTuber, be a YouTuber. But I don't know why I have such a hard time saying it myself. So weird. But anyways, I know that I am working on YouTube, I guess. Still not consistent with that, by the way. I need to get more consistent because I genuinely love doing it so much. Don't know why I'm not consistent. I think it's because, again, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Every single time I start to vlog, I'm like, gosh, why did I say that? That's so stupid. But like, who cares? It's a vlog. You can say whatever you want to say. Maybe not whatever you want to say, but like to some extent. But while I think about all of this, about what I want to do with my life, what I want to do for the next year or whatever, I have stumbled upon a little thought that I actually really, really like, and I've been thinking about this for a while, and that's studying abroad. Now, when I was, I think, in 6th or 7th, okay, I did not do that intentionally, that joke, but genuinely, when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, I was pretty much like 100% sure that when I was gonna be in high school, I'm gonna do a year abroad. Originally, I wanted to do it in the US, but now considering the state of the US and stuff, I don't think I would do it just for my own safety. But I was really, really set on doing a year abroad in high school. And then obviously 8th grade came along. I was really, really busy, so I barely thought about it. And then last year I was also really, really busy because I was trying to, fit in and make sure that I feel comfortable in my new school. So the thought of like doing a year abroad was very, very distant to me. But then recently my friends, my class, we just went on this like trip, and my friends were talking about, doing 2 years, the 3rd and 4th year of high school abroad. And I got really, really interested in that, and I started to search for like opportunities of going for those 2 years abroad to like the UK or something, and I actually found a really good program and I loved it. I'm just realizing how dark how dark it is here, and I hate that because I love bad lighting. I love how I look in it personally, but I don't know if people like watching it. Anyways, I don't think I should care because it's not that important anyways. So I started to do like research, and I found this program, and it seems pretty amazing. And obviously it's very, very competitive because it's like a little bit of a competition, you know. A lot of people sign up, and then they pick like 20 people out of an insane amount of other people. But I think I'm gonna try to do it just because I feel like I need to get out of my comfort zone at least a little bit. And even if I don't win, I feel like there's gonna be something I'm gonna be working towards, and it's gonna be that, and I'm gonna be very, very happy. For me, school lately has been a very weird thing, if that makes sense, because my life has become so monotone because of it. Every single day I wake up, do the same thing. I go to school, stress out about it, come back home exhausted as hell, stressed about schoolwork even more while I don't do anything, study whatever I study, and go to sleep. And just, it's a constant repeated cycle, which I do also want to talk about, like going on side quests and making your schedule a little bit more interesting, because as I already say, my life is very monotone. It's the same every single day, and I have a list of things I want to do. I want to go on a little solo trip to another city, like, I don't know, Paris, London, Amsterdam, just somewhere alone. I love being independent. I've always been a really, really independent person. Okay, I put my laptop in front of me so that there's some kind of light. I realized that you cannot almost see me at all, and I felt like that was really, really weird. So I am gonna have to keep like moving the touchpad just so that it doesn't shut down, but it's fine. As I was saying, there's a lot of things like that I want to do, but because my life is so monotone, I just kind of keep falling into a spiral of thinking about how I'm not doing anything with my life, and the only thing that I'm doing is school, and my whole life genuinely revolves around school. I had such a big crash out on Wednesday. I cried for like 2 hours straight. I was so tired, so done. But I was talking with my parents about it, and they were like, I think why you're crashing out so bad right now is because your whole life revolves around school. So when a thing in like school doesn't go well, you have a mental breakdown and you feel horrible because that's the only thing you have in your life. And when I tell you that's really, really eye-opening, I mean that, because what the hell? That is so true. I have nothing else apart from school in my life. Genuinely. I don't have any sports. I don't have any hobbies. I mean, I have hobbies, for example, like reading or crafts and etc. But I don't do them. I love reading so much. My phone is literally propped up on some books right now. I love reading, but I have been not doing it. I have been not doing any of my hobbies, and I think it's just because I'm the one who's in charge of me doing them. I've always kind of needed that little push to do something because I never pull through with things. For example, like this podcast, I already said this. If there wasn't this whole personal project thing going on and I didn't like tie it to the podcast, I would quit by the first episode, or I would actually never even start it. As I already said, I wanted to start it for such a long time. So because I have nothing in my life except for school, and I'm super, super stressed out about school, when things go wrong with it, I just have a mental breakdown and I start to doubt everything in my life. I feel like even if I did the simplest things, like I have this small goal of mine, like a bucket list thing, to take like a pizza. This is gonna sound so silly and so random, but there's this little thing I want to do, which is like take a pizza to go and then like find a hill somewhere in Warsaw that's overlooking a city. I even have the hill freaking picked out, okay? And just sit there and eat the pizza. Again, sounds insanely silly, but there's something about that would make me feel really free, and especially I would like to do it alone, but again, I wouldn't mind doing it with another person. So even little things like that would make me so freaking happy and would make my life a little bit more interesting, and I hate that I'm not doing them. I Not that a lot of people feel like this, like they don't know what to do in their life and they don't know if the path they're taking is the path they should take. But I feel like over this past week, I've been getting a lot more comfortable with the thought of not knowing exactly what I'm doing and just letting it all unfold, like letting myself do the thing, and if it's not gonna work out, then I can always try again. And I think sometimes you just gotta let your emotions overtake your whole life and then be like, okay, it's all gonna be fine. I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna do this after every single podcast and in every single podcast, but I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna do after this podcast episode. I did this like the last time I filmed. I just said what I was gonna do and kind of giving also advice to like solve the problem, whatever. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take a piece of paper and I'm gonna write down silly little side quests or bucket list things that I want to do in the next 3 months. I think I said it's something really similar the last time, but whatever. I'm gonna write them down and I'm gonna pick one, just one, and plan it somewhere in like my schedule for the next week. No matter how busy I am and no matter how much I have to like spend time on studying, I'm gonna have to do it. And there's obviously bigger things that I want to do. As I already said, the like whole study abroad thing is so fun for me. Like I really do want to do it. I was even thinking about like a 2-week course abroad, an English course, and I was looking at some and I'm torn between NYC and London. I've been to New York before and I've been to London before, and I love those cities both so much. So much. I was in New York City between April and May. Best 2 weeks almost of my life. I am not kidding. I miss New York City so much. It hurts, okay? Ask any of my friends, they will tell you. Ask my parents, they will tell you, okay? But obviously I'm only like 16 almost. I'm not even 16, but I'm almost 16, and going alone to New York City could be a little bit stressful, but I could go with a friend, you know. To London, I feel like I also talked about this with my parents. It would be a little bit more safer. But yeah, just I want to do something with my life. I want to get out of my comfort zone. And I think the second I start getting out of my comfort zone is the second I'll also stop being so anxious all the time, because I keep doing that and it's not helping. I'm a very big media consumer. I consume so much media every single day. It's really bad. I deleted Instagram like almost 2 weeks ago now, and I still haven't deleted TikTok because I do post videos in there, and I told myself, oh, if I like don't post stuff for like a week and then I'm gonna delete it, because that means I'm not serious about it. But the fact that I'm keeping that app for just posting makes me feel a little bit better, and makes me also not use it as much. I put like a 15 time limit thing on it, and obviously I can unlock it, but I just unlock it when I genuinely like want to film a video or like I want to see some stuff. Anyways, I just consume a lot of media, and I need to stop doing that because I keep living my life for other people and not actually living it myself. So hopefully this kind of helps you maybe realize that you want to do something in particular with your life too. I did not really like this podcast episode because, as I already said, I'm not in my right mind. I'm a little bit tired, but I love you, and hopefully the next time is gonna be better. What if this is gonna be like a pattern thing? Okay, like one is gonna be bad, one is gonna be good, one is gonna be bad, one is gonna be good. We'll see. Anyways, I love you. Again, I don't really like this, so if you're watching this and you know me, just ignore it. It's really bad, I know.